Hello, thank you so much for joining me. This is Ellen Kamhi, the natural nurse, and as always, we're wishing you the best. And today we're going to do just a little promo for our lecture about non-pharmaceutical interventions for ear inflammation and give you a few tips that you could learn about using right away. And you can join us by clicking the link below and join in on the class. You can do it live or visit our archives for on-demand classes as well. There are many non-pharmaceutical interventions for ear infections. The point is that all the national councils for pediatric care recommend that pediatricians do not give antibiotics at the first sign of any kind of ear infection. They actually suggest watch and wait. However, I suggest that you do all kinds of natural interventions to bring relief. Ear infection statistics according to the National Institute on Deafness and the National Institute of Health, show that many, many children get these kinds of ear inflammation issues. And what can we do to help? That's what I really like to say. They have a very, very short eustachian tube. And so a lot of things tend to get congested. And once it's moist and congested in there, we have the perfect place for bacteria to grow. And that's what we really want to cut down and avoid. But the good news is there is many things you can do, and it's better to have all this in the house and then if your little ones or your older ones, it can happen in adults as well, but very often it's with our children. In my case, my children and my grandchildren. However, my children never had an antibiotic because I had all of these things in place. So if they did have that redness in the ears at night or any kind of issue with that, we know what to do. We can use food, teas, capsules, tinctures, compresses, soaks, and essential oil inhalants. All of those are great. And this is just a little protocol that you might want to have together, such as golden seal, echinacea, fenugreek, horehound, which is one of the best things to bring up mucus and expectorant, olive leaf, and you can put some very mild, gentle things in the air inside the ear, such as mullein flower ear oil. That's a really good one. And you can use hot compresses with a warm washcloth and various kinds of herbs and oils, as well as inhalants, which get into that ear canal through inhaling it through the nose, such as eucalyptus and thyme. Perhaps you've seen something like vaporizers. Then in the diet, you have no dairy, no wheat, really increased fluid and soup and something like tea, not too much in the fruit juice because it's so sugary. And there are certainly vitamins like vitamin C and bioflavonoids that are great to have handy and that can be used with children. Now, xylitol has some very, very good research, specifically in helping with any kind of otitis media. And it's a polyfull sugar. It's a what's called a sugar alcohol, and it can be taken out of birch. Sometimes it's also extracted from corn. I prefer the birch extracted xylitol. Xylitol is used quite a bit as sweeteners, so something that it's easy to give children because of that sweet taste. And there's some really good efficacy trials in terms of its ability to help with this issue. Of course, a lot of our favorite herbs, which really help to support the immune system, such as this immunological activity of various herbs and echinacea, a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, and there are so many of them. Echinacea is a beautiful flower to grow in your garden as well as to use as an herbal support. It's called purple coneflower, and I bet you could see why. Also, olive leaf. Olive leaf is excellent specifically for kids because it does not have a bitter taste. You can buy it in a really clean alcohol-free extract, and it's very well tolerated by children. It's not bitter as many herbs are. It's not as strong as, let's say, oil of oregano, which really shouldn't be given to children. It's too strong in most cases. So olive leaf is a great thing to consider. Also, have your homeopathic first aid kit ready ready to go. If you can. Unfortunately, the FDA and FTC are actually limiting the availability of homeopathics. That's a story for another day. But if you can still get them, I suggest you stock up on them because they can last for many years. And when you know how to use homeopathics, it's so easy, so inexpensive, and unbelievably effective and helpful for children. Also, massaging specific pressure points, and there are specific pressure points that help to drain the ear, even going all around the ear. You gently massage from the area of the bottom of the earlobe up under the jaw with a smooth motion, and that releases that eustachian tube, which is probably congested. It's good to put a warm pack on that ahead of time as well. Home remedies such as cold socks, believe it or not, that's an old-fashioned wives' tale remedy that often really will help. Also bring down if there's a fever, but help the body to drain out from the ear area. Also, hot compresses, warm compresses, especially there. And warm olive oil drops can be helpful in the ear, along with especially something like mullein flower ear oil. I love that one. I think every parent, it says mom, but dads, you too, learn how to use an otoscope because I used to, when my kids were little, the ones who never got antibiotics, who are now in their 50s, I used to look in their ear, and at the very slightest little red lines start to show up. You don't have to go to 10 years of medical school to see these lines. What you do is look in there all the time so you know what it looks like when it's normal. And then when it's suddenly, it's getting kind of red, that's a great time to start everything before the bacterial growth can happen, and switch over to soups, chicken soup, or if you're vegetarian, vegetable soup, and not so much dairy and wheat in the diet really helps. And learning how to use this otoscope while everything's good is the way to go. Well, you can join us for so many different classes and workshops, and we talk about how you can have your own career path in natural health, regardless of what you do. Maybe you're a graphic arts designer. You can do that for herbs as well, or become a registered herbalist. We talk about how to mentor you through that process, learning all kinds of evidence-based botanical protocols, and you can get CE credits if you are a health professional on many of our classes, which are for nurses, acupuncturists, massage therapists, and others who have a license that needs CE units. So thank you so much for joining us. You can always find us at naturalnurse.com. And until next time, I hope that you stay healthy.